What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to look at the MMC Ocular Max Incursus, their version of a Onslaught. Now this is the third in their series of Combaticons. So here are the ones we've gotten. We've gotten the Swindle, or they call him Frotto, and we got their Vortex, which they call Impetus, and now we have their Incursus, which is their version of Onslaught. So we've got two more to go to get them to fully combine. Here's the back of the box. Just shows them in the typical transforming into the three modes. Very nice, all in built in, so there are no combiner parts in here. That's really it for the box. You also get this decoder card to see his stats, and then you get this collector's card. Very nice. I like these collector cards they've been giving us. And lastly, you get an instruction manual. Of course, you don't need this instruction manual because you've got instructions by Pake for Life on the video. So I will link that at the end of this video so you can go take a look at his transformation instructions. But they do give you these, and they're okay. They're not the best. I prefer the video instructions. So that's really it for what you get in the box. Let's take it out here and take a look at how cool it really is. And here he is out of the packaging. And let's take a quick 360, take a look all the way around. Very cartoon accurate vehicle mode. I like the fact that he's got the two sets of wheels, front and back. You got some nice taillights there for the rear. It looks good. Looks like there's a little bit extra paint here. You got nice silver wheels. All in all, pretty good detail. And then you got the nice headlights just like you had on the Frotto figure. Nice translucent headlights there. You do get quite a few features here in the vehicle mode, which is nice. You do have this that rotates all the way up and rotates around. It's really nice and sturdy the way this is designed. Much better than either of the previous two Zeta or Unique toys. By the way, we are going to do a comparison video with the other two, so I'm not going to do that in this video. I'll do a quick comparison shot, but I'm going to do a full versus video for this one and the Zeta Toys Onslaught. Alright, so he does also can extend these. This does come out if you want it to come out, but it does extend all the way out, and then you can articulate these individually. I don't really see a need for that, honestly, because this articulates. You don't really need to articulate these, so that's more for the combined mode anyway, so I tend to just leave those in, and it looks fine, looks great. You can also take his weapon, so this is essentially the only accessory he comes with, which is fine. That plugs in right here. There's a peg hole there, and there's a peg at the end of this, so you just peg that in, and it's got to go in upside down, so peg that in there, and then it sort of tabs in on the sides of the guns. You push those in there. Now he's got 3 guns, which looks really good. Not much to say about that. I like the fact that you can integrate the weapon in the robot mode, and it matches perfectly with the plastic, not the robot mode, the vehicle mode, and it matches perfectly. The other thing you can do is you can separate this cab. So if you press down on this button right here, it will separate, and you've got this articulation there, so you can have him turning, which is very, very nice. It's got nice rubber tires, and it rolls really well, and it looks really good. You can interact with the other figure. So here is with the Impetus figure, their version of Vortex, and he sits right on there. If you have the wheels out, he doesn't quite sit on there very well, but he sits fine like this. Frotto also fits on here. I just don't have him transformed right now, so we're going to leave that out of the picture, but that looks really good. I think this is a great looking set. They do go together. That's really all of the features in the vehicle mode. Now they do have a expansion set, and I don't have that, but if you get the upgrade set, it ends up with some other extra pieces they can mount onto here. So I don't have that today, so we're not going to show that off. The only other thing you can do is you move these mirrors. These mirrors rotate, and that's mostly so you can, for transformation, you can move them around. They do feel fairly sturdy, but just like on Impetus's landing gear on the bottom of that helicopter, these do feel like, you could break them. One drop and they could probably break, but where they're located doesn't feel like they're going to break. And it is painted nicely. It's got that nice silver detail to make it look like a mirror. So that's really it in this mode. Definitely a good looking truck. It does have that weird camo on the front here, but that is pretty cartoon accurate. In fact, since we just said that, let's take a look at the G1 cartoon, and I think we'll see this is a very, very good looking vehicle mode in terms of when you compare it to the G1 cartoon. So let's take a look at a few comparisons with the X-Transbots version of Wild Rider. There he is next to the MP10 Optimus Prime, so you can see how those scale together. And there he is with the Zeta Toys version of Onslaught. And I mentioned earlier, we are going to do a full comparison, so more on this in the next video. All right, let's get this guy transformed into his robot mode. I'm going to do my best to keep this on camera. Obviously, a very long, pretty large robot. So I am going to try to keep the camera upwards a little bit so I can keep everything on camera, but may go off a little bit. And there we have him in his robot mode. And this guy is a really good looking robot. Let's take a quick 360. You can see he's got the other color on his arms. That is intentional. That is actually cartoon accurate. We'll take a look at the cartoon in a little bit. But I at first was kind of turned off by this. I was sort of wondering why did they do that. And then I looked in the cartoon. I was sure enough, it had that color. Sometimes the cartoon isn't the right thing to do. But in this particular case, they went by the cartoon almost to a fault. I mean, it's really, really, really close to the cartoon. So, all in all, pretty good robot one. Let's look at the articulation. So you have the head is on a swivel, and it does have a light up feature there. So you saw the lights turned on. In order to turn on, all you do is push down on the head, then it stays on, I think, for 20 seconds. But you do get the side to side. All the heads have had the really, really good articulation. And then there's a neck on a ball joint inside there, so you can get the forward and backwards. So the head itself goes up and down, and the neck goes forward and backwards. So you can get a little bit more down, tiny bit of up. So that's the head. You do get a rotation on the shoulder, although it is a little bit hindered by this piece here that sticks in. If you want to, you could leave it down like that, but it does sort of look strange with the elbow there. So you do want that up for robot mode, but it does end up hitting the wheel here, which is a strange choice. You do get a rotation at the bicep. Now it does run into this, but they thought of that and they put a little bit of a joint in there, so now you get a little bit more rotation. So you can't get it all the way. If you pull this off all the way, you can rotate all the way around, but I'm not going to do that. Double jointed elbow gets you all the way up, also for transformation. You can put this back once you're done posing that. You do have rotation at the wrist. Everything is nice and tight, by the way. There's nothing that's loose. Everything is nice and tidy and sturdy. You do have individually articulated fingers at 3 joints. Base pin knuckle, and then the other 2. I don't think they're pinned, but it's pretty secure. They don't fall apart like we did on the old MP10. And then the thumb is on a single ball joint that gets it up to there, just like the other figures. Very, very nicely designed hands. I really like these hands. So you do get a waist rotation. It rotates all the way around. And you get a pretty nice ab crunch all the way up to there, which is pretty far for a big guy like this. You have a hip skirt here, and you get a rotation all the way up to there, all the way back to there, and then out. All 3 are on ratchet joints, which is very unique, very rare that we get ratchet joints in all 3 directions. You do have a knee on a ratchet, so kind of a little bit softer ratchet, but it is a ratchet. You have this joint here, but that's for the combined mode. So, but if you needed to utilize it, you could, but you don't want to. 90-degree bend at the knee. Rotation at the knee. That does rotate all the way around. No rotation at the thigh, but that knee is good enough. It does break the sculpt a little bit. Continuing on with the leg, you do get a really nice ankle tilt all the way out to there. You also get an ankle pivot. You can unpeg it from here on the bottom, and that gives you all the way out to there, and really just everything you would possibly want. Especially for a guy this big, you've got so much posability, and it's really kind of shocking how well he moves for a big guy. And you can really kind of get anything you need here. So really well done. You also get his gun here, and it's just like any other gun. You just tab it in to his hand. Now it does tab into the back of his hand, so it's very, very, very secure, and it's not going anywhere. And there he is with his gun. Looks really good. Matches perfectly with this color scheme. Let's take a quick look at the G1 cartoon. I think they nailed it here with the G1 cartoon look. Almost to a fault. The only place where I would say they kind of screwed up is right here, but I'm really hoping the upgrade set comes with something that plugs in right here where you can put the Decepticon logo on, and it just makes the chest look a lot better. Right now there's a lot of panels and pegs and things going on here, but other than that, I mean, man, they nailed it. They nailed the cartoon look. So that's really it for the robot mode. Let's take a look at a couple comparisons. He is with his combiner teammate, Frodo, their version of Swindle. He is with the Make Toys version of Starscream. And there he is with the Zeta version of Onslaught. So let's get him into combined mode. First thing, you can take out his gun. You don't need that. And it's easiest to start from the robot mode because you're going to basically kind of fold up the legs and arms for the combined mode. right, here is Incursus in his combined mode, and it looks really good. Let's take a quick 360. You can see everything kind of folds up and clicks away pretty nicely. You do end up with these rearview mirrors hanging down there, but they don't get in the way of anything. They're sort of out of the way, so that's okay. But I do wish you could take these off because I'm afraid of breaking them. But they're kind of tucked away. So there is the combined mode. He does have pretty good articulation. We don't have all of the limbs, we only have 2 of the limbs so far, so I'm not going to try to combine them here. It just seems unfair to have one limb on his legs and his arms. But let's take a look at articulation. So you do have rotation on the head all the way around. You can still get that light up feature to work if you lift up the head and then push it back down. There you go. You get the light up feature. Up to there, only goes down to there. It doesn't really go down very far, honestly. It's actually limited by the head underneath. You do have a shoulder joint that goes all the way up to there, although that's mostly for transformation. It does rotate here at the shoulder. You do have a waist swivel ratcheted, and that does rotate all the way around. Those do rotate upwards. Get leg rotation all the way up to there, all the way back to there. I guess you get a second knee, but it's kind of in a weird place. I wish there was a way to lock that joint. Maybe there is. I haven't found how to lock it. All right, and then you get a knee bend down here, right here, ratcheted on this peg, eye peg. Now, that's where we attach the actual robot. So when you're moving, you're going to be moving the other robot, but I just wanted to show you that. So that's really all the articulation on this torso. It's really fine. Oh, one other thing you can do, I forgot to show this, so let's move this up. You can pull this out, pull these outwards on these little joints here, and then push that back down, or leave it up, but either way. Push that back down so it's flush, and then you can have the Bruticus mode rockets where they're a little bit further out. Some people might prefer that to be further out just so you can have them a little bit bigger. Now, that's really it for this combined mode. So final thoughts on this guy. I really think that MMC nailed it. All 3 modes are really fun and very good looking, really G1 cartoon accurate, and pretty good quality. You know, it feels good. He doesn't feel like it's falling apart or that he's panely and floppy. Everything about it, actually, just like the Fraudo and the Impetus, he stands up well. So I'm happy with this purchase. I think I'm going to keep going with this line. Now, if you already have the unique toys, no, that might be a debate. And unfortunately, I don't have my unique toys Onslaught, so I'm not going to be able to do a versus comparison video. But I am going to do a comparison video with the Zeta toys, and I can tell you right now, those two are aiming at different things. The Zeta is really going after the combined mode. This one is really going after the cartoon accuracy in the robot and the vehicle mode. And it nails that. That's what it's going after. That's what you get. So if that's important to you, if the accuracy of this robot mode and vehicle mode is something that you're really looking for, and then the color scheme and all that, then this is something for you. Even if you're not trying to get that, if you just like cool robots, you like good transformation, good quality, I definitely recommend this. So thanks for watching, guys. That's really it for today. Obviously, my next video is going to be the comparison video with the Zeta Toys Blitzkrieg. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.